Hi guys, thank you so much for clicking on my video. Sorry about the different background change between switching up for the holidays. There's just been a lot going on. So I am just going to sit in front of my fireplace that I built. I was super excited about it. Anyway, let's get into today's video. So in today's video I have 4 Dollar Tree, Walmart, cheap, little crafts that you can make for Christmas. I am just about obsessed with Christmas as I am with fall and Halloween, so lots of fun for me. I have lots of crafts already planned out for you guys, and about November 1st is when I decorate my house for Christmas. I still celebrate Thanksgiving, and I want to make sure that my daughter and future kids do know the importance of Thanksgiving, but personally I like to decorate 2 months for Christmas, so that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do a little decorate with me video, so definitely keep an eye out for that. But without further ado guys, let's go ahead and get into these crafts. Okay guys, so for this first video, I just took this little fall basket. I got this on sale at Walmart. It was only $1 when I paid for it. So first you're going to remove the sign by removing all 6 of these screws that I'm showing you. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint this whole sign white. Now I am using apple barrel paint because I didn't have any chalk paint on hand. Please, if you have chalk paint, use it because I had to do so many coats of this apple barrel paint. Not dissing the brand, but it was just a lot more work compared to what I'm used to. But it came out beautiful in the end, so I wasn't going to complain too much. So after all your coats of white are done, I'm just going to take some of Waverly's chalk paint in the color Truffle and kind of just go over the edges with a smaller brush and distress the sign a little bit to make it look more rustic. I just took this picture that I found on Google and I printed it out, and I'm taking some brown paint and just distressing the edges. If you can freehand this, go ahead, but my handwriting sucks and I don't have a Cricut, so I just went ahead and printed this sign out. I believe I just typed in Merry Christmas printable, and then I'm going to take some Mod Podge and go ahead and Mod Podge that to the middle of the sign where I like it. So now I'm taking red paint, I believe it was Apple Barrel's Flag Red color, and I was trying to make it look rustic and just kind of lightly brush on the red, but in the end I kind of felt like it looked more like Halloween blood splattered on a white door. So as you'll see, I did go ahead and decide to paint it a solid red, and I think that that looks so much better, and I should have definitely have done that from the beginning. And now I'm just taking that truffle paint and I'm kind of just doing the same thing with the red, just distressing it a little bit to try to make it look more rustic and more worn down. And then I do believe I go back onto the white part and just add even more of that brown. I really like how distressing pieces look. If you don't like that, go ahead and totally skip this part. It's totally up to you. So I just went ahead and screwed the sign back in with those 6 screws, and now I'm just taking this little garland tie from Dollar Tree and wrapping it around a pencil just to kind of give it a little bit of a curly effect, and then you kind of lightly just pull it apart, and I do that to 1 more. And then I'm just playing around with floral that I have. I believe what I used was Hobby Lobby's picks and then the little silver piece that I use in the middle. I'm pretty confident I got that from Walmart. And after I like how it all looked, I just took it all apart to hot glue it all back down. And now that I'm thinking, guys, I think that those red picks were from Walmart. I'm not 100% sure. I'm so sorry that I can never remember where I buy anything from. And then I just have this bow that I made with some ribbon. I didn't do a tutorial on it, guys. I suck at making bows. Please just go on YouTube and YouTube some other person. And I did just glue it on the side of the little sign. And then I didn't like how that little tail was, so I just glued that down where I liked it. And that's it, guys. That's how I turned this dollar clearance fall little basket woven thing into a Christmas one. Okay guys, so for this next craft, this is just a Dollar Tree sign that I had from last year. I will warn you right now, this craft is very messy in my opinion. At the end, the lines aren't all symmetrical and the scrapbook paper I put on it wasn't exactly perfect. I don't mind, I know it's homemade and it's unique to me, but I did just want to warn you guys that if you're perfectionists, you might want to just skip this one. But I am just removing the ribbon, and then I'm taking my little scraper and removing the tape that they had on there. And make sure you save that ribbon for later, and I do go ahead and take the tape off the ribbon as well. And then I'm just going to put a layer of Mod Podge on, and I picked out a scrapbook paper that I really liked. I did pick out one that had a saying on it, so the saying was a little all wonky, but I just aligned the signs up on it, and then I put the scrapbook paper book on top of it to just hold it down. And then after the Mod Podge is dry, I'm just going to go ahead and cut the pieces out. I would leave space in between them a little bit because it was kind of hard with how tightly I put them together. And then as you can see, that second piece fell off, so I am going to just have to go ahead and Mod Podge that back on when I'm done. So after all the pieces are cut out and put on, I'm just going to take some Mod Podge and go around the edges just so they don't curl up. And then I am just going to go ahead and sand the edges down. And then for the star and the little pot that the Christmas tree is in, I am just taking this scrapbook paper. It's gray with white polka dots. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but I just thought that it was a light color that wouldn't take away from too much of the tree. And I'm doing the same thing, Mod Podging it down, cutting it out, and then sanding it as well. So now I'm just making sure I can see the hole from the front to put the string back through, and the easiest way I found that was to just take a mechanical pencil and poke it through the scrapbook paper, but you can really use anything. And then what I'm doing here is I'm aligning the tree back up to where I like it. Make sure you take your time with this. Mine was all crooked and a little wonky, like I said. And I'm just taking that ribbon and gluing it down. Definitely glue the ribbon down more in the inside, guys, because when I got to the end of the pot and then the top of the star, I did have to kind of bend the ribbon at a diagonal, and it just looked a little silly, so definitely put your ribbon closer together in the middle. And then here I'm just putting the ribbon back through the top, and don't mind the one hand, guys, I was holding my daughter while doing this, but I just put that back in so that I can hang it up. And then I tried scraping off some of that brown tape, but I ended up hiding it with a bow anyway. And that's it, guys, that's all for this one. So for this next one, I'm taking this little mason jar that I got at Dollar General for only $1 in the summertime, and I'm just taking the 2 screws out of the top and removing the little tin part and then saving it for later because I am going to go ahead and put that back on. So this is the scrapbook paper I chose. I'm just going to go ahead and Mod Podge that on. I liked the candy cane looking effect because I am going to make this into a little jar that has a hot cocoa recipe on it, and when I think of hot cocoa, I like to put peppermint in my hot cocoa, so the whole peppermint theme kind of just went with me, and that is what I did. But you can totally customize this to however you want. You can put a gingerbread recipe on it, your favorite recipe for the holidays, you know, your mom or your grandma's secret little recipe, whatever you like. There's so much you can do with this, and just sit it on your coffee bar or your kitchen. After I got done sanding it down, I'm just going to take this little recipe printout that I got on Google. I just typed in hot cocoa recipe, and I'm going to Mod Podge that on. And now is the time I decided to go ahead and put the little tin back on the top. And then I'm just going to take a little candy cane wood sticker thing that I got at Dollar Tree, I believe. I bought several from Dollar Tree and several from Hobby Lobby, so I can't entirely remember which candy canes came from where, but I'm pretty sure these ones came from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to go ahead and paint it to look a normal candy cane with a red bow on it, but again, totally customizable. You don't even have to put a candy cane there. You can put a little gingerbread man. There's just so many little things that you could put to go with the theme that you chose for your jar. So now I'm just going to wrap this twine around the jar a few times, and then I also make a little bow to go with it. And what I do for the bow is I take my 3 or 4 fingers, however thick you want the bow, and I wrap it around my fingers about 5 to 6 times, and then I go ahead and cut that off, and then I take another piece, just a straight piece so it creates the tails, and I just go ahead and sit it in there as you see here, and then I take another string and I go ahead and tie the tail and the whole bow together, and then I just cut those little excess pieces off, and that is all I do to make my little bows. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue that in the middle, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue the candy cane on top of the bow, and that's it for this one, guys. I do want to warn you guys for the next video, there's a little bit of change of scenery. I was filming in several different places around the house. I'm just taking this little sign, the farm fresh, and then all the kinds of trees at the bottom. The green just didn't fit in with my decor, so I'm just going to reuse the sign, repurpose it. And first I'm going to take this little sticker off, and then I'm going to take some pliers and just remove the little hanging piece on there. And then I'm taking my apple barrel paint, but again, probably just easier to use chalk paint. And I'm just going to go ahead and paint the entire inside of the box white, and then the outside layers as well, but I do not paint the back. Okay guys, you guessed it, I'm taking my truffle paint again and just de-stressing the little white box. I, again, love the whole little farmhouse rustic vibe, so I am just going to go ahead and do that by dry brushing it on. And basically with this, you just keep going until you like how it looks. If you put too much brown on, just go ahead and take your white paint, go over it, and hide the brown a little bit. And I'm making another bow just like I did in the last DIY. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that fast, being that I already showed you guys how I do that. I'm then just going to go ahead and sand this down a little bit, and then I'm taking this ornament I got from Walmart for $1.98. If you don't like this ornament, Walmart has so many cute ornaments with different colors, and I'm going to go ahead and glue it to the top so it's just kind of going to hang in the box. But as you see, it does come off when I try to cut it, so measure it, cut it, and then glue it, guys. So I'm going to re-glue that back down, and then I'm just going to take that little bow that I made, glue it on top of the string here, and that's it, guys. I absolutely love how this one turned out so much, and there's so many ornaments you could recreate this with. Thank you guys so much for getting to the end of my video. I hope I've inspired you, or you liked at least a few of the things that I made. Like I said in the intro, there was a ton of ideas going around in my head, so there are a ton of Christmas crafts for you guys to see, so keep an eye out for that. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.